Guys, welcome to the Dave Darren Show. I've got my platform today. I want to talk about this. All these people saying peaceful transition, by the way, including Arnold Schwarzenegger, if you've seen him lately on his broadcast that the world is igniting about and supporting Arnold Schwarzenegger. All those saying peaceful transition. All those saying unite. You notice I put the letters fuck you in big bold print capitalized. As I said, my strategy, I've got an own personal strategy now. My personal strategy to conduct my personal war on Democrats and Biden, which, by the way, I call him prickelect reject Biden. I don't call him presidential elect. I call him prick-elect reject Biden. My purchases of anything and everything that is not essential is put onto a immediate holds. Now let me bring myself up here so you can see my happy face today. You know, a lot of people are saying to me, they're saying, Dave, you're going to devastate. If you're going to really do that, which I am going to really do that. You guys are familiar with me wearing all the fancy watches, all the Robert Graham shirts. There's going to be no more purchases of any of that stuff in this household anymore, except for the essentials that we need to survive. That is it. Electric, utilities. The bare essentials is all that is going to come into this household because I intend to make my own personal, independent, small, tiny dent on the economy. Because we all know that Biden is going to take he's going to try to take the legacy of being the president that brought the economy back. When he is the one that has damaged the economy, his whole party has damaged the economy. Let me talk about this. A lot of people said, Dave, if you do that, you're going to damage the small businesses. Small businesses have been damaged enough. You know, in all reality, let me say this about small businesses. They accepted the lockdown. They did not fight. I saw like one guy in New Jersey with a restaurant who was actually arrested because he violated that. And actually a policeman was confronting him. And I think he had some kind of dealing with the policeman because his frustrations are at a max. He can't support himself, can't support his family. His business is in jeopardy because of this fucking fake coronavirus bullshit, which I said so many times. 328 million people live in the United States, of which 380,000, I believe, was the statistic about a week ago. 380,000 people have died of COVID-19, of which 70% of them have a pre-existing condition. And if you take 328 million and you proportionalize that to 380,000 that have died, it's 0.1% of the population. Yet, we have destroyed, how much of the population have we destroyed with the lockdowns, the shutdowns, the masks, everything that you can't go to a restaurant unless it's 25% occupied? It's a horrible situation that we have let happen. And the small business owners have let it happen. They have let it happen. They've let Black Lives Matter burn down their businesses. And they're not out there defending themselves. So now, don't come to me and ask me, Dave, you got to shop at my small business. Dave, you're going to take down the economy. You're not going to be purchasing anything anymore. That includes not purchasing from me, the small businessman. You're going to damage my business. You know what? If you didn't defend yourselves up until this point, don't look at me to come and defend you and patronize you when you haven't lifted a finger to protect your own business, your own family, your own livelihood, your own success. And now all of a sudden you're going to come to me and you're going to say, Dave, you got to help me out. I'm a small businessman. I'm hurting. You've been hurting for months and you've done nothing about it. You let Black Lives Matter destroy your business, destroy your property, terrorize you, terrorize your family, and you've done nothing. Don't come to me asking for my help. In fact, with all these people now, they're all saying, Dave, you don't wear a mask. You don't wear a mask. I have never worn a mask since this whole bullshit began. And they're all saying to me, they're saying, Dave, you're jeopardizing some people by walking out without a mask. You know what? This is what I got to say about that too. If you have neglected your health for all of these decades, you go in the supermarket, you see people that are fat, obese, should be on that 600-pound show, My 600-Pound Life. They're stocking up on potato chips, on sweet water, which is soda, eating all this unhealthy stuff. And now they want to come to me and they want to say, Dave, can you please wear a mask to protect me because I got a pre-existing condition because I'm 600 pounds and I'm eating soda, I'm drinking soda, I'm eating pretzels and potato chips, all the salts in my body, all the meat I'm eating. If you want to live unhealthy, then don't come to me now, decades later, and say, Dave, can you please protect my health? You know what? Fuck you. you haven't done anything, if you haven't lifted a finger except for lifting a finger to stick your hand in greasy food and put it in your mouth, then don't expect me to help your asses out, all right? Your big round asses out, which now is so popular with the Kardashian big asses. Kardashian, you know what that stands for? Kardashian, car-sized ass. That's what that name stands for. Kardashian, car-sized ass. That's what it stands for. If you didn't know, now you know from me. All right, so that's what I intend to do. I intend to, whatever you intend to do, you got to try to do it. Now, Schwarzenegger, I got on his YouTube, and I wrote this. I'm going to read it to you guys, and I'll put it up here so you can see what I wrote. So I better scroll down a bit. Okay. Now, this is towards Schwarzenegger based upon his YouTube total bullshit where he's attacking Trump. He's telling us all to be peaceful in our transition and wish Biden, which I call prickelect reject Biden. We're all supposed to wish him luck. So Schwarzenegger comes on there. He's telling us all his sob story about him being from Austria. And he was, you can watch it if you want to watch total bullshit, all right? This is my response to him. You do miss some important concepts. You are an immigrant. My wife as well. She's from Japan, a country which she did not have to escape from due to human rights violations, etc. Yes, there are countries where people are suffering human rights violations and come to America. But we as Americans have died to make this country what it is. We sacrificed our lives, our security, our comfort to make America the land that people cherish. My point being that our nation's security must secure our borders, which is one of the very main reasons most Americans have with Democrat policies of open borders. I personally, I'm going to repeat that again. I personally consider those that have come here abandoning their families, abandoning their friends, abandoning their ancestors. I consider them cowards, as they are not fighting in their land as we fought in ours to make their country safe, secure, and great. My second opinion towards Schwarzenegger, whose prick commentary is a bullshit commentary. Shut the fuck up as an entertainer. You're an actor. You have nothing to do. And your failed politics, what did it do to California? How are you all living in California these days? Secondly, Democrats are for larger government, larger control of each individual. I am not an actor as Schwarzenegger is. I am a project manager. I have worked for 2 state governments. By the way, those 2 states are Arizona and New Jersey. As a consulting project manager, both projects were mishandled, had no oversight, and were vastly over budget. One of them, by the way, and I'm going to tell you guys this, one of them had a vendor that did not deliver for 1 year and a half, yet billed the state $20 million. Governments are not accountable for their failures, as they have the ability to pass on the cost of these failures to their tax-paying base. Therefore, my second reason for not supporting Democrats is that I value individual responsibility versus government taking on our responsibilities. That is why I am a Republican. Not because of Trump, but because of the rationale I mentioned in these paragraphs. Being strong to some by closing our borders and taking away the protections of government providing for us may seem cruel to some, but an independent America and a safe America is extremely important to myself and those that are currently saddened by the Democrats' extended power that, as I mentioned, with my state government contracts, with the exclusive power they now have, they can, and I believe they will, operate with no oversight and no accountability. How's that for commentary on what Schwarzenegger said? I stand by that. I stand by what I said. I stand by the fact that we've got to be strong. We've got to be, Republicans have to be aggressive because the GOP is not aggressive. They're a bunch of slackers. Now, I heard, is there insurrection going on today? I heard something about, today about the, something that Trump's doing. And I don't know if any of that is true. I do know that if he does anything, he's the one man alone Everyone is abandoning him. And he's the only one strong motherfucker out there that's got any balls whatsoever to take on the corruption. You know, the only thing good about all this, is it brought a situation that's been out of control for decades. Politics has been out of control for decades. At least it brought it to the forefront, where some people are still discounting it because they're fucking manipulated and they're brainwashed to thinking that Democrats can do nothing wrong, that everything was done precisely accurately. At least we've got some people that are speculating as to, could this possibly be a fuck up? Could this possibly be an incorrect count? At least we're waking some people up that maybe were sleeping, and maybe they were Republicans, but they still believed our system was accurate. At least we're waking some of those motherfuckers up, all right? Maybe some of those people are woken the fuck up. That's what I have on my banner here that I had up. And this is another reason why I'm damaging the economy personally, on my own, personally taking my own initiative to not buy anything except the essentials. Biden and the Democrats will take credit for any uptick in the economy. So I will not contribute one unnecessary purchase to this manipulative and catastrophic administration. I will individually do my damage. And you notice here I've got a picture of our President Trump, and I've got a little picture of Joe Biden. Wish I could make it smaller. Can I make it smaller? Let me see if I can make it smaller. There we go. There goes the size of Joe Biden's mentality. There goes the size of Joe Biden's brain capacity. It's a midget brain in that fucked up head he's got. That is prickelect reject Joe Biden. You know, what is that? Douche Darren. Here goes a, okay, you have to be special kind of stupid to believe the election wasn't fair. So who is this? Who is this guy? Now, are you part of the people that have counted? Are you part of the people that have been on site to validate any of this? How precise are you, fucker? How precise are you into thinking that you are correct and I'm wrong? What degree of accuracy do you think you have in your mind to have oversighted this election for you to believe that it was accurate? Here we go now, a boomer. All right, so I said that this is this is generational warfare, to be honest with you. We got this douchebag here who says the boomer crybaby. All right, so here we go. Let me say this precisely. This guy looks like an idiot. He looks like a young idiot who's been manipulated for decades in a liberal educated system where he thinks that everything, he needs to still be breastfed by his mother at whatever age he is. He needs to be breastfed by his mother. All right, so here we got a guy who's criticizing me as a baby boomer. You know, I'm proud to be a baby boomer because we have been the ones that have made the best of this. You know, all the generations after us have had a lot less success than we've had. I bet this guy does not have a BMW in his garage. I bet his wife doesn't drive. If he's married, if he has a wife that was stupid enough to marry this motherfucker, I bet his wife is probably driving a Hyundai. He's probably driving a Kia. And he's probably driving a Hyundai and a Kia that probably can't go more than 30 miles an hour because it's fucking broken down and rusted. This is the type of guy that's criticizing boomers. This is what's going on here. We got a bunch of people that are younger than me who are jealous of the success we've had. And they think that they beat us down because we're quiet. We're more quiet than they are because they're loud crybabies. And we are more quiet than they are. You know why? Because we kind of ignore them. We drive our BMWs with our radios on in the car or an MP player in the car. And we're playing great music because today's music actually sucks. What kind of lyrics are there? You got tit and ass shaking, and that to you is music when it's really a stripper on a pole. That's what today's music is. It's music that is senseless. It's women on a pole showing tit and ass with wardrobe malfunctions, and you think that that's music. When you got great music from the 70s and the 80s and the very beginnings of the 90s, we had great music, and you got shit. You've got nothing at all to contribute to the success of your generation because you've got no work ethic. You've got no ability to do anything at all except to utilize products that have been developed already, and you think that you're geniuses using this fucking phone. because you can put an app on it, but you didn't create that app. You didn't create this phone. You're utilizing stuff that we've created for your benefit to use. And you think that you guys are geniuses when you're just fuck-ups, jealous of the success that we've had. And all we do is we drive down the road and we pretty much fucking ignore you guys because you're meaningless to us. You don't contribute anything to society at all except for your brainwashed mentality. So to be honest, we kind of shut you out of our lives. You guys like this douchebag Darren who wants to use my last name. This guy is a total complete idiot, reflecting of the generation that he comes from as an idiot, manipulated prick who thinks he's got any sense at all. He's just a total dummy. And he's on here chatting. You know, if you want to have a program, do a show like this. Invite me on your show to watch you. He's got no initiative. He got no work ethic. You think he's got a show, or he might have 3 people watching him? I have 3 people watching me because people don't like a guy like me holding a mirror up to them and showing them how pathetic they are, because I just said I'm going to not make any purchases at all. So anyone that's a small business owner is probably going to stop watching me because they think that's a dick move, Dave. You're not supporting small business. But you know, what I am is I'm honest. I'm saying you guys that have small businesses, did you defend your small businesses against Black Lives Matter? Did you defend your businesses against Antifa, which both of them are terrorist organizations? Did you do anything to defend yourself? Did you do anything to say that you don't approve of the lockdown? Did you do anything to keep your business afloat? Instead, you just surrendered. You surrendered, and now you expect me to patronize your small business. And I ain't going to do it, because if you did not take any effort to be successful and defend your right to be able to eat, support your family, support yourself, and now you're going to come to me and you're going to ask me to please support me. You know what? I'm not going to do it because you're weak. Pretty much America is weak. If you look at all the other countries that we've gone to war with, and we have not been successful in the wars more recently, is because we're weak. You know, if you think about communist countries, which we are becoming, the one thing you got to say about communist countries is they're strong. Their people are strong. Their people are powerful. The Democrats, the communists in this country, are strong and they're powerful. The GOP is weak. It's weak. America is weak. All we do is we are great at keyboard warriors. In fact, you know what do I do? I said I want to damage the economy individually, to take damage directly to the pocketbook of Joe Biden and his stupid vice president. And I'm going to do my individual contribution to take them down to their knees as they tried to bring down us to our knees to say that we are white privileged, so we should be on our knees. Wasn't that bullshit too? Wasn't that bullshit? You know, everyone said Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. You know what? Did we not have a president who succeeded in becoming a president? Do we not have CEOs of big corporations that are minorities? Do we not? Don't blame me for stuff that happened that I wasn't even born yet from previous and what, am I supposed to apologize for things that happened before I was long time? I'm not going to feel guilty for that. Fuck you. Absolutely fuck you for trying to make me feel guilty. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do anything to support this fake president or these fake bullshit people who want to make commentary on my site here. And he's still crying. He's still carrying on. Yeah, well, here we go. More and more shit. He put a message out there and he retracted it. Don't retract messages. Whatever you want to say, don't retract it. Whatever you type, do not retract what you type. We've got douche Darren here, who decided to type something and then he pulled his message back. If you got balls at all, whatever you said, leave it out there. Don't pull it back. The terrorists are the idiot right wing. Oh, you think so? Domestic terrorists. All right, so think about this. Think about this, you fucking brain dead idiot. Black Lives Matter and Antifa. Black Lives Matter, you're going to have people there that say it's a peaceful demonstration with the exception of the people in there that infiltrated Black Lives Matter. There has been no leader from Black Lives Matter or from Antifa who have said, we are peaceful. We 100% denounce the terrorist people that break into our peaceful demonstrations. We denounce them. There's been no leadership that denounces that. What they've got is a slogan, No justice, no peace. What is the opposite of justice? Could you look it up? The opposite of peace. How about looking it up? There was a book, War and Peace. Look it up. The opposite of peace is war. Therefore, I consider Black Lives Matter with the leaders who have not denounced the terrorist faction within their group. If you do not denounce it, you embrace it and you accept it. And all of you idiots that are out there defending Black Lives Matter, the terrorist group, you are pathetic and you are part of the problem. And you don't like it? This douchebag, douche Darren who keeps typing here. Fuck you, I'm not even going to read your posts anymore. Because they're meaningless from a brainless guy. I'm not going to even read them. If you do not denounce the terrorists within your group, Black Lives Matter and Antifa, you think you are peaceful motherfuckers, but these people broke in. If you do not denounce that faction of terrorists within your group, you are a terrorist group. You burnt down cities. You damaged people's livelihoods. You destroyed their buildings. You expected people to get on their knees. And because you're a terrorist, mandating that everyone gets on their knees because you are the one that is manipulating them. Fuck you for not believing that to be the case. If not, you are part of the problem because you're a fucking idiot. This guy keeps on typing. Like I said, I'm not going to read your fucking idiot post. It's meaningless. Totally meaningless. And he posted another one, he retracted it. I see that. I'm not going to read the rest of it, but he posted another message and he retracted it, probably because he's not educated enough to be able to type out a complete sentence without grammar, without mistyped grammar or spelling that's fucked up. We got a brain dead idiot here who's probably a millennial, who I call millennials, and he's at war with people like me from a baby boomer generation because he's jealous. He's driving a piece of shit car. He's probably doesn't have insurance unless he's got Medicare. Or Medicaid is the one that all you fuckers get when you can't afford your own health insurance. So you're going to go to the government and expect the government to give you health care. You're going to expect the government to cover your education costs, which I'm sure this fucker's not educated at all. So he's probably a flunk, probably never even went to elementary school. He's probably a douchebag idiot. Let's say this. I'll read some of these other guys. Those who make a peaceful revolution impossible will make violent revolution inevitable. Then he says the black community tried to use peaceful methods. Nobody listened. Oh yeah, so nobody listened. So let's just fucking burn down the whole country because nobody listened. How about we do that? How about what you do is this. If you think you're being misrepresented, you just work yourself up. How many decades has the black community not moved up in ranking? You know, I'll tell you this. I was working in New Jersey, in Trenton, New Jersey. I come home after work, and there's no rush hour in Trenton, New Jersey. You know why? No one's working. And you see a bunch of people on their doorsteps, on their front doors, whistling at the chicks with the big asses walking past so they can pound them and have babies and not take the responsibility of taking care of that child. So you got an unwed mother, you got a single parent raising a child who's got no father because he's sitting on the doorstep waiting to fuck the next woman that's walking by. That's what we got in Trenton, New Jersey. And you walk in Trenton, New Jersey in the front of people's houses, which I wouldn't do. You drive through the front of their houses. Do you see them picking up shit in the front of their house to make their house look more presentable? Do you see them out there sweeping the sidewalk, sweeping the street to make their homes more presentable, to make their property more presentable, to make the value of their real estate go up? Do you see any of that happening? So if you want to make your community better, if you believe that you're a black person or a minority who's been unable to succeed because the white privilege have put your asses in the sand and don't let you succeed, you know what? Why don't you start sweeping your street? Why don't you take proper care of your environment to bring the value of your houses up, move up in get your skills better, improve yourself individually so you can become lawyers, doctors. Bill Cosby had the show. Bill Cosby's in jail, right? Bill Cosby had that show, The Cosby Show. What was he, a doctor? Right? And what was his wife? I think his wife was a doctor. They were both doctors. They were representing what black America could be. We had a black president of the United States. These people succeeded. Those people succeeded. There's no excuse where they did not succeed. They succeeded. And you're telling me that you've been held back. You've been held back. How many football players are making millions of dollars and what, they're going to claim they haven't succeeded? You guys are fuck-ups. If you think that there is a problem with the black society not being able to contribute and be successful in this country, then you're full of shit. If you have been confronted by police who have abused you, then you know what? You got to fight back. You got to go to lawyers. You got to sue their ass. You got to sue the city. You got to do shit. There's black lawyers out there who will represent you. There are white lawyers out there that will represent you. And you crybabies who need to be breastfed thinking that everything is against you. Everything is not against you. Like I said, I work in big companies. I'm walking all around. There's minorities all over the place. There's people from India who are there. So there's people from all countries working in these big banks and these big General Electrics and these big Honeywell. And you're telling me, we got a call here. Probably from someone who wants to harass the show here. I'm sure this is a heckler. Dave Darren on the Dave Darren Show, what's up? I cannot hear you. Oh, he's got me on it. It's a replay of me. I like my own voice, so thank you very much. Would you like to talk and shut me off in the background, or do I hang up on you? Hello. I guess I hang up on you. I don't know who that was. Couldn't hear him. If he's a legitimate caller, you can call back again. Don't have me on in the background because I know what my voice sounds like. So I don't need someone. This guy's still talking. This douchebag Darren here is still talking. I'm not going to even. Let's see. Look at the liver spots on Dave's face. You know, so what? You know what? This is me. This is me. This is the muscular arm I've got. I'm losing my hair because I'm trying to become a Klingon in the next Star Trek with the big forehead. You think you're going to insult me and it's going to matter to me? You think it's going to, whatever you say, do you really think it's going to matter to me what you say? When I just called you out as being a lame, probably a millennial, who's probably driving a piece of shit vehicle, who's probably got an idiot wife that married him. For some reason, he was able to brainwash his wife to marrying this guy with a small fucking penis. His wife's probably got a bigger penis than he does. He's an idiot trying to post and make commentary when he's a total dick who probably voted for a stupid liberal called prickelect reject Biden. And by the way, I used to live in Delaware, so I know what a prick this guy is. And I know specifically from living in Delaware that he was referred to as biding my time Biden because he was a do-nothing idiot. And yet you idiots voted for this idiot, this incompetent, incapable moron who can't even speak, although you get douche Darren here, who probably can't speak at all because he got the same fucking brainless mentality that his prick-elect reject president has. Well, it was one. Oh, here we go. Here goes another guy who just wants to infiltrate this program, make some kind of commentary. Colin, I'm going to call him Colin. Oh, here we go. Another call from Tennessee. Hello? Someone else who decided just to call, ring the number, make the phone ring so he could just say nothing. You know, this is something else. You know, it's funny. Liberals try to shut us down. They try to shut down Pollard. They try to shut us down. They try to censor us. And you get liberals that call up who self-censor themselves by not saying anything. They're self-censoring themselves by not saying a single word when they call the phone here. So they try to censor us, and when they call a program to voice their opinion, they censor themselves by saying nothing. And even if they said something, it would be so brainless that it would be censoring just from the nature of an idiot calling on to make a conversation with marks of an idiot. Let's say you support a president that couldn't pass a basic intelligence and cognitive test. Okay, if you know that to be a fact, how about posting that on? How about posting that right here? How about posting that right now? We've got a president that wanted to close our borders, who did close our borders, who put up a wall, and I said we need to secure our borders. You probably got this fucking douche Darren here who wants to open up our borders. And I said before, and I'll say it again, people that come to this country illegally, who come under the camouflage of being here because their country has violated their human rights, they feel endangered in their country. In this country, people have died to make this country safer. They have died to make this country more secure. They have died to make this douche Darren's life better. And yet, they leave their country as cowards. They do not want to fight in their country like we did in our country. And we died, our families have been left without their support of their husband because their husband has been in war fighting for the safety of this country, the freedoms and the liberties of this country. You have other people from other countries coming here illegally, crossing our borders because they are cowards. They do not want to do what we did to make this country better in their country. They take the quick escape routes to come here to make their lives better, abandoning their families, their friends, their relatives, their ancestors, because they don't want to take the groundwork and make their country better. So they escape as cowards. They got their tails between their legs. They are cowards. That's why we got to close our borders. We got to close our borders to keep the people in here safe. We got to accept the people that are coming here illegally as brave people who want to participate in this country's betterment. That's what we got going. That's why we need to close our borders. The reason we do not want Democrats in power is because Democrats want bigger government. I just said so. I just gave you 2 instances of government contracts I personally had where there was no oversight. Government is incapable of doing a good job. They are completely incapable. What they're capable of is taking more tax dollars out of your pocket, stuffing it in their pocket. When things don't work out as they promised for them to work out, what do? They go back into your pocket and take out more money. They come to you to fund them for their incompetence in their bigger government. That's what the Democrats are. Incapable of oversight, incapable of producing, incapable of leading, incapable of being anything except for money-grabbing bullshit people who cannot participate in the making of America better. And you have voted for prickelect, reject Biden. Oh, is that right? I've never showed an ounce of courage. You know what? How many people walk around your state, wherever you're from, without a mask? How many of you have done that? How many of you have had your own business where you created an environment of success where you hired 8 people? I've done all of those things. I've taken the risk of having my own business twice, 2 successful businesses, and you sit there as a keyboard warrior telling me that I'm a coward. I tell you, you are a complete and total idiot. And I'm reading you just to see how much of an idiot you are. It's fascinating to see what kind of an idiot. George Floyd, if you don't know it, George Floyd was executed and murdered. That's what this idiot says. George Floyd served time in jail. Did you know that? He was in jail. He actually robbed at gunpoint a pregnant woman, held the gun to her stomach, and had committed a robbery that he served time in jail for. That's the guy that George Floyd is. Whether you know that or not, whether you had the common sense in your head to understand and study who this idiot was, you did not study who this fuckhead was. He is not a patron of Black Lives Matter. He should not be honored. He's a felon that committed crimes with a gun, holding a gun at a pregnant woman's belly while the robbery took place, and he served time in jail. And that's the guy you want to come on here and honor on behalf of this show and say that George Floyd is a martyr. He's a saint. He needs to be sainthood. You fucking idiot. Anyone can say they had a successful business, and you have, right? You know, fuck you. I'm not even going to talk. Actually, my broadcast is kind of finished. Why would I even acknowledge this idiot with commenting to him? So I'm not going to. Fuck you. We're done. I'm done with today's broadcast. I do this broadcast basically to blow off steam on my own. And like I said, I don't really care how many people listen, how many people watch, how many people share. Because to be honest with you, America and humanity is really fucked up. Humanity is, we are one of the worst species on this planet. We are the species on this planet that kills for greed, power, jealousy, and anger. There is no other species on this planet that kills for those reasons. We do, and we are a failed species. None of the other species on this planet will complain if we were not here. They would be happy if we were gone. We wouldn't be hunting those species for food to eat at McDonald's so this douche Darren can become sick. I'm just looking at his face. He's bloated. I'm looking at the little picture of your face on the chat here, and you look like you got to be at least 400 pounds. And he's bloated. He's probably eating it. He's probably typing from a laptop in McDonald's right now with a stupid mask on his face. He probably has a hard time getting a mask to cover that big, humongous face, which is too bad. He is a real total moron. His face is huge compared to the size of the brain in that head. It is amazing that someone could actually come on here and put a picture of his face there of a big bloated head. It looks like he hasn't farted in years and it's just worked up into his head, and his head's going to explode. What an idiot. What a total and complete moron. And I've said it, and I'm done. Cheers.